Okay. So earlier we had discussed few things. Let me just revise those very quickly. So we were talking about capital gain. The first thing that we talked about was capital gain arises only when we are selling an asset. Now that asset can be a short-term asset, can be a long-term asset. Um, Short-term asset is when we have two separate parameters. There are other parameters, but we are going to remember only two. One is for normally for all of the assets, it's 36 months. So less than 36 months, then that's a short term. If more than 36 months, that's a long term. Only for listed shares, that is 12 months. That means if we are selling listed shares in less than 12 months, in that case, it will be only a short term. However, if it is more than 12 months, it is a long term. Difference between short term and long term: short term is 15% tax rate, long term is 20% tax rate. There are some specific other rates also. I'll discuss that going forward. We'll have to remember those. Just one rate is that 10% is there. I'll specifically mention on once we go forward. How do we calculate the capital gain? We take the sell price or sell consideration. We deduct the expenses related to the sell. Then we deduct the cost of purchase, how the cost at which we purchase the particular asset. Then we get the uh, uh, capital gain or capital loss as the case may be. Now from that, if we are eligible for some exemptions, we'll be claiming those also. Exemptions will be covering at the end today if possible, otherwise maybe the next time. um, Now the difference between short term and long term is the process remains exactly same, except that the cost is indexed in case of long term. In case of long term capital asset, the cost is indexed. What do I mean by indexed? It is adjusted on the basis of the CII, that is cost inflation index. Now we took an example of small examples where we took some asset we purchased for 1 lakh on to 2012, in which the CII was 200, and we sold the property or the asset in 2021 for 15 lakhs, in which the CII is 317. Now in order to calculate the CII, we just simply multiply the CII of the year of sell and divided by CII of year of purchase. So 1 lakh multiplied by 317 divided by 200, that comes to 1,58,500. So I believe, yeah, one more thing that we have discussed is this. So when we have the CII that is available with us, the base year for that is 2001 and 1 to 2. That means if a purchase has happened before 2001 to 2, in that case, what will happen, which value to take? That's where income tax department comes in and we give the facility to the assessee. They may choose whatever value they need. That means obviously the assessee would prefer to choose the higher value. That means the cost of acquisition will be the actual cost or fair market value on 2001 to whichever is higher. I believe, Divakar, could you please mute yourself? No problem. I did it. Okay. So as I was saying, if the purchase has happened before the base year, in that case, our cost of acquisition will be higher of the actual cost or the fair market value as on 2001, basically 1st April 2001. Now what does that how does it impact our calculations? Obviously it does. Because we have to calculate indexed cost of acquisition. The actual price would not be taken if the market value as on 1/4/2001 is higher than the cost at which we have purchased the particular asset. Now we will take the market value, and while multiplying and dividing the CIIs, the division will be the CII of 2001 to 2 year, that is 100 all the time. If again, this is the scenario where the asset is purchased before the base year. Okay. Any questions up until now, please, before I move forward to the next concept? Okay.
No,
Awesome.
Dheeraj, you can go ahead.
Awesome. Now, let me bring in one more concept. Suppose I purchased, forget about the year, okay? Let's not complicate things. Suppose I purchased a asset for 3 lakhs. Suppose I purchased the asset for 3 lakhs. And I sold after some years for suppose 10 lakhs. Now, in between those years, I have made some heavy investment of suppose 4 lakhs on the house. I have made some changes. Maybe I made a new part. I added some additions. I did this, did that, all those expenses that I made is for 4 lakhs. Now, what do you think should be the capital gain from the sale of the particular asset? Question is it 7 lakhs or is it 3 lakhs?
That may not be included, right? Because you are making improvements.
Yeah.
So that will not be allowed, right?
So you are saying it should be 10 lakhs minus 3 lakhs. That's what you're saying?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Are there any other different opinion?
No, same opinion from my end also. 7 lakhs is what I...
No. So income tax department gives this facility to the assessee. If you have made an expense for improvement, see, improvement is something, maintenance is something else. If you have made some maintenance, so suppose a building was there and the color was coming out and you have just painted the whole building to maintain it to that particular level in which the building was there, then that is not a capital expenditure. That is a regular expenditure. However, if you have made some improvement, you have built one more floor to the building, right? Or you have made some roads, nice roads to the building, something like that, or maybe something else like that. So there is an improvement. In that case, what the income tax department says is no, we are going to allow it. This is a capital expenditure. This is going to be included in your cost. That means what I'm saying is now your
so
cost.
Dheeraj, one question.
Please.
Suppose I get the interiors done.
Yeah.
For after say 5 years or 6 years of this, will that be part of improvement or that will be part of maintenance?
So each of these scenarios depends on how does the work is affecting, how does the work affect the particular asset. Now, is the change made by this activity is increasing the value of the asset. Now when I say increasing the value, I mean to say the increasing the original value when you purchase the asset. Now, when you say that we have made interiors, when you purchase the particular house, right, there was an interior, right? After 5 years, there was a need for a change because through the 5 years, the interior was almost gone by use, right? So that means you are just maintaining the interior. You are not improving it. Makes sense, right? So that is not a capital expenditure. That is a very regular operating expenditure. So that is not going to be a part of the improvement. Yeah.
Sure. Thanks.
So yeah, so that is the concept of deciding whether something is improvement or something else, but that will not be that complicated in our examination. Very clearly it will be given the cost of improvement is this much. So when it is given, we will be deducting the cost of acquisition and the cost of improvement also while calculating the capital gain or capital loss, whether it is short term, whether it is long term. In both the cases, this is deductible. Now my question to you is this. Okay, let me make it more complicated. Okay, before I make it complicated, let me stop any questions, any questions other than that. Okay, now let me introduce one more aspect. You purchased on 2010 to 11. Now I'm talking about assessment year only, so let's not confuse anything else. And this is improvement you made on 2012 to 13 assessment year. The cell you have made in 2021 to 22 assessment year. Now you tell me, what am I talking about here? Is it a short-term asset or long-term asset? Let's first decide. Can you tell?
Can you repeat the years?
I have written it, no? 2010 to 11 you purchased. Improvement is on 2012 to 13. And then the cell is 2021 to 22.
It's a long term.
Yes, this is actually long term, more than 36 months, definitely. So it is a long term only. Now, so now that we have decided it is a long term, the cost has to be indexed, isn't it? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So while indexing the cost part is fine. 3 lakhs, you will look at 2010 to 11, the CII is 167. You will divide 167, you will multiply 301. Everybody agrees to the numbers, right? Yes. I'm looking at the table only. So 2010 to 11, it is, oh my bad, it's 148. 10 to 11, it is 148. And 2021 is fine. Yes. Sorry, 21, 22, it is 301 only. No questions on the numbers. Yes. Now, my question is, what about the improvement? Should it be indexed? Should it not be? Logically, you tell. I'll tell the provision. That's not a problem.
Yeah.
It should be, actually. It should be, because the facility that is given for the cost should also be applicable for this, because obviously 4 lakhs in 2012-13 is not 4 lakhs today. So it should be indexed also. So 12-13, the rate is 184, and the same cost of, sorry, inflation of 21-22 is 301. And accordingly, you will calculate the capital gain. Any questions? Otherwise, I'll complicate it a little bit more. Okay. Now let me tell you, the asset was purchased in 1960. 261. What I said is, asset was purchased in 1960 to 61. You have made some improvement in 1975 to 76. What about this now? Now you must have figured out what I'm referring to. What I'm referring to is it is happening before the base year now. It is happening before the base year. So let me give you one more additional information. 2001 to 2. That is assessment year 2002 to 3. Your fair market value is, suppose I would say 8 lakhs. Not 8 lakhs, it would be too much. 6 lakhs. 75. Okay. So what I'm seeing now is your fair market value on 2002 to 3 assessment year, that is 1/4/2001. I'm talking about 1/4. I would rather say 1/4/2001 is how much? 7,50,000. Now, how do we calculate the capital gain? My question here is that.
We calculate the fair value with using the CII, right?
Yes. What about the, okay, that is absolutely correct. Whatever we have discussed up until now, according to that, that is fine. What about the improvement? Extra thing this time is improvement. What about the improvement made of 4 lakhs?
That was before
2001. Yes. So that is something to think about.
That,
let me give you a hint. When you calculate the fair market value on 2001, you will be considering everything, isn't it? Including the improvements. Make sense?
That's right.
So 7,50,000 is actually inclusive of everything. Cost and improvements. That's how you determine the market value of a particular asset, right? Whatever current condition and everything you look for, and then you finalize a particular value. So 7,50,000 is inclusive of the cost of improvement. So now the new thing that has come into equation is, if your asset is purchased before the base year, the improvement has happened before the base year, the improvement that has happened is irrelevant. The improvement is irrelevant because fair market value that will be given on 1/4/2001 will be including the improvement also. Any questions, please, on that? So now here,
I think it's clear.
Yeah. Now what we'll do is we'll simply take 100 for the base year and 301 for the what do you call it, 2021 to 22, and we'll accordingly calculate the capital gain. Okay, now that that is clear, let me quickly go to a question. Let me see if we can solve one. Yeah. Second. Okay. Let me introduce one more provision, then we will go to the questions. All right. Concentrate on this part. Okay. So here, what happens is, let me give you a example, and from that we will understand the provision. Suppose we had one capital asset. Okay, capital asset. Suppose I had a land. And I purchased the land for 10 lakhs. I purchased the land for 10 lakhs. So I did this purchase in some 2010. Exact date is not necessary. 2010, I purchased this land. In 2013, what happened was I opened a real estate business where I'm selling and purchasing lands. Okay, so up until 2013, this land was an asset for me, right? On 2013, what I did was I opened a real estate business where I'm purchasing and selling land, and I took this land as a stock in that business. I took this land as a stock for that business and I sold it afterwards. So when I took, the market value was 15 lakhs. Yes, the land was purchased in 2010 for 10 lakhs, 2013, 15 lakhs. So now this stock was sold later in 2021 for suppose 35 lakhs. Now the question here, first question is, now we have made a profit. How much profit? If you notice, 35 lakhs minus 10 lakhs. We have purchased the land for 10 lakhs. We have sold the land for 35 lakhs. So 20 lakhs profit we have made overall. If we look at it just on an abstract basis, without going too much into the provisions. Now tell me, what is the nature of this income? Because when in 2021, I'm selling it as a stock through my business, the real estate business. Any income for the business is a PGBP income, profits and gains from business and profession. However, from 2010 to 2013, I held it as a capital asset. Tell me, out of this 20 lakhs is which type of income?
So for, I think up to 2013 when it was there, I think as an individual, that will 5 lakhs will become my capital gain, right?
Absolutely correct.
And then after that it is whatever is there, that's the income from business.
Absolutely correct. So the answer to my question is, it is actually both. Part of it is capital gain, part of it is PGBP income, right? That's what you're saying exactly. So you're saying 5 lakhs is something and 15 lakhs is something else. That's what is to be understood. So there is a scenario like this where this can happen actually. So in fact, the first question, sir's exercise is based on this only. So this is very important, to be honest. I feel like there can be a definite question from this concept. Now, so what is happening? 10 lakhs was purchase cost, 15 lakhs was the market value on the date of the transfer of the capital asset to the stock as a stock. Then 35 lakhs is the sell price. So now 5 lakhs becomes your capital gain, 15 lakhs becomes your, sorry, my bad. So 20 lakhs becomes our PGBP income. Now let me complicate things a little bit. Okay, before I do that, any questions, please? On that,
So Dheeraj, one question.
please.
When I convert the land from capital asset to a stock,
Yeah.
don't I declare that as a part of my income or as a part of my gain in 2013 itself, or not required?
No, declare as in where you're saying?
So that 5 lakh which was a fair market value was more, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So that 5 lakhs, do I declare as a capital gain in 2013 itself, or when I
that's a very
sell
good
it, I have
question.
to do that?
That's a very good question. So think about it. In 2013, you have just transferred the asset from one category to other category. You have not actually sold it.
Sold
Right?
it.
You
Okay.
have not had the cash coming in for the land. But if you
Okay.
pay tax on it, you will have to pay 5 lakhs multiplied by 20%, 1 lakhs you have to pay. But you have not received any cash for it, which is why income tax department has given this benefit to the assessor. No. Because the cash has not come in for you, it is just a book transfer. So you will pay tax in the year in which you actually receive some cash. That will be in the year in which you actually sell the asset. So that was the logic behind it. I was coming there. That's a very good question. So the taxability will be in 2021 only, in which the stock is actually sold. But the capital gain will be calculated on the portion for which that was held as a capital asset only. Okay. Now that that is clear, let me introduce the concept of indexation now. My question to you is, indexation on 10 lakhs, should it be for 3 years or should it be for 11 years? So when I say 3 years, I'm looking at these two. When I'm saying 11 years, I'm looking at these two.
It should be for 11 years, right? Then we'll deduct the fair market price for the first 3 years.
No. I mean, logically, I understand what you're trying to say, but here the Income Tax Act becomes a little strict, saying that no, you have held the asset only for 3 years, so we'll be allowing the indexation only for 3 years till 2013, because the sell price will be.
Oh, so you are saying I thought you are talking about the overall, including your profit from business.
I got your point. But even then, if you think that will not be actually right. Now let's segregate these two. Okay. Now 2013, let me give you the index price also. Give me 1 second. Indexation values. 2013, it's suppose 220. 2010, it's suppose 167. And this one we know as 301. 301, 310 was 301 only. Okay. Now look, what happens is, first of all, capital gain, when we calculate, our sell price is how much? Sell consideration is how much for capital gain?
25 lakhs, sorry, 35 lakhs total, right? For capital gain, it will only be 5 lakhs.
No,
because that's the
sell consideration will be the market value. Value 15 lakhs.
15 lakhs, yeah.
Yes, 15 lakhs only. We'll be deducting cost, that is separate. But the sell consideration is 15 lakhs. Sell receipt is 15 lakhs. That is the fair market value of the asset in 2013. Okay. Now let's talk about the index cost. Cost is 10 lakhs. Yes. Now what the income tax department says is, if you have taken fair market value only of 2013, we will not allow you indexation till 2021. So that is where they say, no, we are not going to allow you the indexation till 2021. You will be allowed only till 2013. So what you will do is, you will multiply 220 and divide 167. Make sense?
Yeah.
So
basically what you are saying is that we have to consider that the asset was sold in 2013 only, and calculate everything.
Yes, but the only difference is, can you figure out what is the only difference? That is a very good analogy, but there is a small difference. The difference is the question that you were asking before this. The only difference is the taxability is not happening in 2013.
That is right. That is
Yes, the only difference is that it is done as if you are actually selling the asset in 2013, but the taxability is coming in 2020.
taxability.
Yes. So you are not paying any tax in 2013. You are paying tax in 2021 only, but it is as if you are actually selling in 2013. You're right. So I have done the indexation. Let me calculate the capital gain on it. So it is coming to 182,634. Now let's look at the PGBP, profits and gains from business and profession. Now sell value I know is 35 lakhs. My question to you is important question. What is the cost that I have to deduct in order to calculate the taxable profit from PGBP? There are so many values in front of us. Is it 10 lakhs? Is it 15 lakhs?
No, it will be then, if you are going with whatever is capital gain is there, so that remaining is a cost. So 1 lakh, 13 lakhs.
Yes, I got your point.
Yeah.
Now
13 lakhs should become the price.
Imagine this, okay. Now in 2013, you actually had the asset with you. You transferred it to your business. Had you had purchased it from another party, which value would have paid? Is it 13 lakhs 17,000 or
15 lakhs?
15 lakhs is the cost.
Lakhs. Because 15 lakh becomes the cost.
Yes. You are recognizing income on the basis of sell consideration of 15 lakhs. It is as if you have sold yourself for 15 lakhs, isn't it? You have sold yourself yourself for 15 lakhs. That means the cost is also 15 lakhs. So we will be taking the sell consideration as the cost, and we will calculate the PGBP. That will be 20 lakhs here in this case. Yeah. Any questions, guys, other than in this concept? Okay, let me quickly go to a question and look at this one. Okay. So Mr. A had purchased a house. I'm reading out this question. Mr. A had purchased a house property into the year 2000. So in 2000, notice it is before base year. Please note it is before base year. A had purchased a house property in year 2000 for 18,50,000. He converts the house property into stock in trade during February 2013. So house was purchased before base year. He has converted the house to stock in trade, which we just discussed, in February of 2013 after base year. Now, after conversion, he incurs 6 lakhs towards development expenditure. After converting it into stock in trade, after moving it to the business, then after he has made some improvements on it. Let me ask you before I move forward with the question, is it relevant for capital gain?
No,
it is not, because as for capital gain, the sale has happened in 2013 only. After that, whatever you do, that is for PGBP. We'll consider there. Okay. Now that is clear, let me move forward. And sells the property in April 2020. So in April 2020, the asset is sold for 40 lakhs. The fair market value as on, this is important, the fair market value as on 1/4/2001. Why this is 1/4/2001? This is base year given. And during February 2013. Why February 13? In this year, it has been converted into stock. That is also important. Both are given. The first one is given as 21 lakhs and the second one is given as 30 lakhs. Compute the capital gains on business income taxable for the relevant assessment year. Can you please calculate both the things? Capital gains, how much of income, and business income also. Please don't look at my answers. Yeah, I mean, it's just the numbers. If you don't understand, you won't be able to connect also. Do both the things separately. So first you do the capital gain, finalize it, then you move to the PGPP side, business income side.
Dheeraj, I will not be able to calculate. I'm driving.
Oh, is it? Okay, okay, no problem, sorry. Okay, I don't think anybody else is attempting, or anybody is attempting, please, if you are.
I'm actually pretty new to site, so since I didn't attend the morning session.
Okay, no problem, I'll tell, not a problem. So if you look at it, now capital gain is this one, and we have business income is this side. Now, under capital gain, what is the sell consideration? As we have discussed earlier, sell consideration is the market value on the date of the transfer to as a stock in trade, into stock in trade. That is given as 30 lakhs. 30 lakhs is the sell consideration. Yes, correct? Any questions on that?
Yes.
Now the cost part, here comes the important part. Is the cost 18 lakh 50 or is the cost 20 lakhs, 21 lakhs? Anybody?
21 lakh, right?
21 lakhs is the cost because the asset is purchased before the base year. On the base year, the fair market value is 21 lakhs, and the provision very clearly says it is the choice of the SEC. That means he'll take the higher one, that is 21 lakhs. Now in 21 lakhs, we will do the indexation, right? Yes. While doing the indexation, we will divide it by 100 because the base year rate is 100. And 1213 CII is given in the question. If you look at it in the bracket, 220. We divide 100 and multiply 220, it comes to 46 lakhs 20,000. You minus 46 lakh 20,000 from 30 lakhs, that comes to 16 lakhs 20,000 of capital loss. That is called capital loss. Capital gain, reverse side is capital loss. Now we are done with the capital gain. Let's talk about the business income. What is the sell value for business? For the asset that is given as 40 lakhs in this sentence. If you look at it, yes, sells the property for 40 lakhs in April 2020. What is the cost? We just discussed
30 lakhs.
30 lakhs because it is as if we have sold the asset to ourselves for 30 lakhs. Why 30 lakhs? 30 lakhs is because it is the fair market value on the date of conversion into stock in trade. So cost is 30 lakhs. So 40 minus 30, that becomes 10 lakhs is your business income. Any questions, please, on that?
Yeah, it's clear.
Yeah, perfect. Now let's look at one more question. Mr. Dilip, an individual purchased unlisted shares in Indian companies as investments on 10/5/2012 for 30 lakhs. Excuse me. So he has purchased some unlisted shares. On June 2018, he had started a business as a dealer in shares and transferred 50% of such shareholding to the business. So out of 30, 15 lakhs is still with him as capital asset, and other 15 he has transferred to his business. Now, slightly, complicated they have made it. That's all. Otherwise, it is exactly same as the previous question. The fair market value of the entire shares as on that date was 60 lakhs. Which date they are talking about now? On June 2018, on which the conversion has happened. On that date, the fair market value of the whole stock, whole shares, is 60 lakhs. That means they have indirectly given the fair market value of the converted shares. That is half of it, that becomes 30 lakhs. Okay. The shares held in business were sold by Dilip for 34 lakhs On October 20, 2020, compute the taxable income of Mr. Dilip under the relevant heads of income, indicating relevant assessment year, and the CIS given for 3 years respectively. Now let's talk about the capital gain first. Let's forget about the business profession as of now. For the capital gains, the first question, what is the sell consideration?
Okay.
30 lakhs, right?
30 lakhs, because 60 divided by 2, right? 60
Yeah.
divided by 2, that
50%.
becomes 30 lakhs. Now let's talk about the purchase consideration. Purchase consideration is this 30 lakhs or where was that? Give me 1 second.
34 lakhs and
Yeah,
it
there
is a
is
sell
no,
price for
there is no or,
Yeah.
because this purchase has happened after the
Yeah.
base year, so there is no or. Okay, so this 30 lakhs divided by 2, that becomes 15 lakhs, right? So 15 lakhs is
Yeah.
our cost, cost
Yeah.
of purchase. Now on that, indexation has to happen. So 12/13,
Yes.
the indexation is given as 200, and our year of transfer is given as 280, and year of sell is given as 301. Which one do we multiply? Which one do we divide? This is the logic which I gave, I think, a few minutes back.
I think multiplied by 1819 divided by 1213.
Perfect. That's where we tend to make mistakes. I have seen people make mistakes. That we have to remember that the indexation is allowed only till the year of transfer, only till the year of transferred into the stock in trade. Now you multiply 280 divided by 200, that comes